Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley is about to begin a press conference. We've waited for many hours for this. Let's
Good morning.
listen
Joining
in.
me here today is Mayor Brandon Scott, Morgan State University President David Wilson, Morgan State Police Chief Lance Hatcher, Fire Chief Jay Wallace, representatives from ATF and the FBI, Councilwoman Ramos, and community leader from Hillen Road community, correct? Yesterday, approximately 9:25 p.m., Morgan State University Police were on patrol. They heard discharging, responded to the scene, located multiple victims within seconds or minutes. Our BPD, fire, and police resources were on scene, helping the Morgan State University Police handle the scene, also treat the victims. Preliminarily, at this time, we know there's a total of 5 victims, ages 18 to 22. We believe all have non-life-threatening injuries at this time. There were 4 males and 1 female. All victims are being treated and transported by first responders as first responders heard the shots, and all appear to be gunshot wounds. At the same time, we have now learned that multiple windows shattered and made our officers believe possibly we had an active shooter. So we immediately put our emergency response for an active shooter in place. The area was cordoned off. We set up a command post. Officers basically went to the different buildings. We secured several areas. BPD SWAT, along with members from our federal, local, and other jurisdictions, came to assist us as we cleared the buildings to make sure we did not have an active shooter. We did not locate the suspect at this time. The scene remains active, and we are working alongside our many federal law enforcement partners to piece together everything that exactly happened. Right now, our thoughts and prayers are with these victims, their families, our Morgan community, and our city. BPD and Morgan State University officials are asking that concerned family members to continue to avoid the campus area. Family members may report to the Safeway parking lot located at 4401 Hartford Road. A BPD officer is on scene to assist the families. I want to make very clear that we are still investigating and the details are very preliminary at this point. Anyone with information related to this incident is asked to call 911 or Metro Crime Stoppers at 1-866-7-LOCKUP. At this time, I'll turn it over to Morgan State University Police Chief Hatcher.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. As Commissioner Worley stated, Morgan State University police officers were on routine patrol on the campus when they heard discharges from a firearm. They quickly responded to the area, located several victims, and rendered aid. As we know it now, 4 of the 5 individuals that suffered injury are Morgan students. We would like to thank our local partners, federal and state, for responding to this incident and helping us to manage and resolve this issue. I'm going to turn it over to Morgan State University President, Dr. Wilson.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank Mayor Scott, the Baltimore City Police, for working seamlessly with the Morgan State University Police to get on the scene quickly here and investigate the matter at hand. I also want to express appreciation to Governor Moore for reaching out to me to ensure that if we needed additional resources from the state, that those resources would also be available. I attended this evening the coronation of Mr. and Miss Morgan State University. It was a beautiful event in our Murphy Fine Arts Auditorium, almost filled to capacity. This is a ritualistic event on the campus of Morgan State University at the commencing of homecoming week. And we typically have parents coming from all over the state, all over the United States, to witness their sons and daughters taking part in being crowned Mr. and Miss whatever organization they're representing. This was an unbelievably beautiful event this evening, and our students at the end of that were headed over to the Student Center to rejoice and to enjoy themselves when this unfortunate situation erupted on the campus. Since that time, I have met with our students. I have met with parents. I have escorted them to their residential halls. I have ensured that they will get to where they need to go for the rest of the evening. I can also say that I have canceled classes here at Morgan for tomorrow, and we will be assessing what will happen for the rest of the homecoming week as early as tomorrow morning, and will duly inform you and others of any decisions that we make in that regard.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Good morning, everyone. This morning, the entire city of Baltimore's heart aches for the Morgan community, for these victims and their families, and for our city as a whole. This unfortunate and unacceptable tragedy joins, as we know, a long line of colleges and schools around this country that have seen incidents like this. And it showcases again for all of us, as we thank the women and men of Morgan State Police, BPD, fire, everyone that responded heroically out to this scene. But it reminds us all, again, that we are dealing with, not just here in Baltimore, not just at Morgan State University, but across this country of the United States, an epidemic when it comes to guns and gun violence. And it's time for us to get serious about that, not just at the local level where we've recovered over 2,100 guns, but at the national level. We have to stop saying not one more. We need action now. There are things that can be done, particularly at the level of Congress, that could help stop the next shooting on a campus, at a church, at a supermarket from happening. And when is enough going to be enough? When will the sanctity of American lives and the sanctity of American college students and students that get their education outweigh the sanctity of American guns? That's where my anger is tonight, because my anger is with the people that pulled that trigger, and we're going to work alongside Morgan State and everyone else to track down these people and hold them accountable. But we also have to talk about the accountability for every single solitary person and system around how people who clearly do not have the mental capacity to have a gun ended up with it in their hand. How are we going to consistently see this over and over and over again and think that the status quo around guns in our country and our communities is okay? Because it's not okay. It's not okay for it to happen at Morgan. It's not okay for it to happen on our streets. It's not okay for it to happen anywhere in a country that prides itself in being the leader of the free world. We're talking about epidemics of gun violence and mental health that have to be addressed. We're going to continue to do our part here locally. Our police officers, everybody that involved in reducing violence here in Baltimore, from our community violence intervention workers, are going to do their part. But we need to see national action, especially from Congress, because we know that we can stop these, is whether we have the courage to do so. But we're going to continue to be here to support Morgan State University, as I call it, Baltimore's university, because we know we are very proud. We are Morgan proud, and we're going to be here to support this school, their community, and their families through this tragedy. But for those who decide to come on this jewel of a campus and inflict this pain and trauma on their community, we're going to find you. We won't stop. Turn yourself in, because we are not going to tolerate that happening here or anywhere else. Thank you.
All right, so at this time, we're going to take questions. I'm going to call out our local outlets first, and then if there's anyone that I missed, you can just let me know. So we're going to start with Leah at the AP.
Okay, how many shooters and where exactly on campus did it happen?
That's still part of the ongoing investigation that we can't release that right now.
Okay, someone tweeted they thought 3 shooters. Is that not confirmed?
We can't confirm any of that right now.
Okay.
All right, Hugo Banner.
Can you confirm more than one?
No. We can't confirm.
Baltimore Sun.
No,
Yep.
no arrests.
No.
So, no arrests have been made. You said you haven't located the suspect. We've seen campus sort of open back up in the last couple hours. Can you explain how you made that decision without locating the suspect to, I don't know if lifting the lockdown or lifting the shelter in place is the right phrase, but yeah, how did you decide to open campus back up?
It was a decision that we all came together to make, but what we didn't open the campus up until our SWAT team had cleared the building where we thought the suspect may have ran or where we thought the shot came from. They cleared every single floor twice, and after that we realized the campus was most likely safe, and we opened it back up because the shooter was nowhere around that we could find.
And that was Thurgood Marshall Hall?
WJZ.
here. Where exactly did the shooting take place? Was it inside the building? Was it outside the building?
It was outside.
Okay, thank you.
All right, WBAL.
This is for the university. We're just wondering about the notification system. We've heard a lot from parents and kids who have been leaving, students. They were saying it took a while to get notified about this. Can you share how long it took so we can find out what are the facts behind that?
Yes. We received the call at approximately 9:27, I believe, and the first alert went out at 9:30. There were approximately 4 additional alerts that went out subsequent to the first alert.
Got it. All right, Channel 2.
So this is for the university president. First of all, how does the university move forward from this? And second of all, for the students specifically, just from my conversations with them, it's been a very traumatic thing. What kind of resources will be available for them moving forward?
This is a very tragic incident on the campus of the National Treasure Morgan State University. By no means will it define who we are as a university. Morgan is an anchor institution in Baltimore City. We are one of the top institutions in the United States. We are a fast-growing institution. We are a very consequential institution. And it is unfortunate that this tragedy happened here tonight. We do understand that our university community is traumatized by it. And as such, we are moving forward to cancel classes on tomorrow, number one. But we also have in place 24/7 counseling services. And I met with the students tonight. They are availing themselves of those services. We are deploying counselors tomorrow in person to Thurgood Marshall, and they'll be there as well to provide ongoing counseling support to our students. And so Morgan State University will not be deterred. We will move forward. We will continue our momentum here at Morgan, but it is indeed a very, very unfortunate situation that would have us standing here tonight talking about students being injured and their parents actually suffering. You know, my son came to Morgan, and I know what it is like, you know, to have a child off in college. And so we are communicative to all of our communities, but Morgan State University, rest assured, is going to move forward and would not be deterred in our momentum here.
All right, we have Fox 45.
Yes, this is for the mayor. Mr. Mayor, thank you for being with us. Now, this is a national story, as you know. I got phone calls from friends from Atlanta, Florida. National story. This is the most recent of several violent incidents recently in the city. What do you say to the people across the country about that? We're on an outstanding university campus, beautiful Baltimore, homecoming this weekend. What do you say about the city?
What I say to my people around the country is what I just said, Keith, that this is not just a Baltimore thing. And when you live in a city and you live in any city in this country right now, anybody, any mayor in any city will tell you that we have a national problem with guns in the hands of people that should not have them, and we have to handle it in a national way. I could sit here tonight and tell you, as you very well know, because you and I talk about it almost every day, that we are a city that is actually seeing a decrease in homicides and shootings. But that doesn't matter tonight, because we have kids at college who were shot, and this happens time and time again, not just in Baltimore, but in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Atlanta, in city after city after city after city, and it's been happening that way for decades. And we have to deal with this issue nationally. It has to be done. The same way that we got serious about people dying from cigarette cancer, the same way that we got serious about people dying in car accidents and we mandated seatbelts, we have to get serious about guns. Have to. Or if not, we're going to continue to have this same conversation over and over and over again. As I said to you before, I was in 9th grade, right down the street at Maryville High School when Columbine happened. And we heard then, not one more. How many have happened since? And there's been little to no action at the national level.
All right, we have Afro right here.
Hello, this is for President Wilson. I'm interested to know, with it being homecoming week and there's an influx of activities as well as possible visitors on campus, what security measures were taken before the event?
Before the incident, we had a security plan in place for the rest of homecoming week. We actually got a briefing on that today in my cabinet meeting. But on tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I will be having an emergency meeting of my executive team, and we will be assessing and reassessing homecoming week activities here at Morgan.
Do we have a representative here from the Morgan spokes? Thank you.
Hi, this is for Chief Hatcher. This is the third consecutive year we've had a shooting during homecoming week and homecoming celebrations on Morgan State campus, despite the increase in quote-unquote security measures here on the university. What do you say to students who are unsafe and don't feel comfortable going to class, nonetheless celebrating their university during this week?
First, I'd like to say that we take their safety very, very seriously, and we do everything humanly possible to ensure their safety. So we've taken extraordinary measures to bring additional security resources to campus. Unfortunately, individuals respond to campus and act poorly. So even though we take extraordinary measures to increase policing, increase our camera coverage, increase different technologies that we have deployed across campus, oftentimes you can't stop a bad actor from doing bad acts. But we will continue to try to ensure the safety of our students and be very successful doing that.
Any outlets missed? All right, thank you guys.